All right, we're rolling.
Okay.
Cool. So please start by introducing yourself, also where you're from and who you're affiliated with.
Yeah. My name is Maaike Izeboud. I'm from the Netherlands, and now I'm doing a postdoctoral research at the Vrije Universiteit Brussel in Belgium.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And this is not your first time in Antarctica, is it?
No, it's my second time. Previously, 3 years ago, I was also with a Belgian mission here at the Belgian station here, and now I'm lucky enough to go again.
And is it always a treat to come back? Have you been wanting to come back the last 3 years?
It's amazing. I mean, you study this place I studied this for my PhD, and you work on it every day, but to get to see it in person, it's amazing. You fall in love and you want to come back every year, but of course that's not possible. But yeah, it's the best place in the world.
And what is your primary objective or research project that you're working on this season?
So we're going to search for very old ice, and I think it's a very cool exploration project. So in this season we're going to explore the area where we have a high potential finding very old ice, and we're going to do very different types of measurements to get an understanding of where is the best place where we can find like hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions years old ice. And then in like 1 or 2 years we come back, and then we have like this one place, and we do a deep drilling to get that ice and to be able to study it.
And what, you guys like to come back in 2 years' time? Is that right?
Yes, yeah, it's still undefined, but 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you be involved with that project in 2 years' time as well?
I don't think personally I will not, because there's a large team working on it in Brussels, so there's also people working on it in Brussels that don't get to come this year. So of course we're gonna have as many people have the opportunity to work on it in the field, that also work on it at home. And I think my specialty, what I work on mostly, is remote sensing data, which is useful now for the reconnaissance, but when we start to do the deep drilling, of course the people that work on ice cores are going to be more involved, and that's not me. So I don't think I will be there. If they need more muscles, of course I'm willing to.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What do you foresee being the biggest challenges of carrying out your research in the field this year?
I think this year it's going to be extremely windy, and I'm a bit nervous about that, because it's a region with katabatic winds, so all the time you're in a wind tunnel, basically, and that's going to be very cold, I think, and also very annoying, because every time you take something out of a bag it flies away, so you have to be careful of everything and you have to tie everything to the ice, and I think that's going to be our largest challenge, because it impacts all the measurements. It impacts how long we can work, because we get cold and we have to go back inside. Yeah.
Have you worked with all your in a sense co-scientists on this project before, or some team members new?
So I am mostly new to the group. I was the last one to join, but I know 2 of them already from previous work or from different projects that we were colleagues before, but we didn't work together on the same project. So that's like I knew them personally as colleagues or professionally, but now we work together. So yeah.
Okay, very cool. And did you always know you wanted to be a scientist, or was there, in a sense, something that triggered you? Was there something that motivated you, or is there something that inspired you when you were younger to become a scientist, or was it kind of always a plan that you had?
It was not always a very clear plan that I knew I wanted to become a scientist, but I think it sort of naturally evolved. I was always curious about how the world works, and how nature works, and why is there a mountain, and why is there the valley and the river, and how come this ice exists the way it does. So in my studies I started as a civil engineer, and then I moved on to geosciences just because my curiosity took me there, and then now I'm here. Like I started to learn about glaciology, and I was hooked.
Yeah, so it's you specialize in remote sensing, you said, and I guess you got your PhD in glaciology specifically.
Yeah, remote sensing of glaciology. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess remote sensing is cool, but it's always a little nicer to be able to be here on the ground, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, do it live. Do you have any advice for, per se, a young student or even younger, like a teenager, or somebody that might want to aspires to become a scientist one day, or anything like that?
It's I think following what interests you is very important, and so as I said, like my goal was never to be a scientist, but I followed what I thought was very interesting and what I like to do, and then it can take you to cool places, and also I think in that way you can keep your passion and your motivation for what you do, if it's really something that you like, and that interests you. And not only because it sounds cool on paper.
Yeah. And I know some of these questions I didn't write down because sometimes I just think of them while you're talking. But what would you like to, in a sense, where do you see yourself, or ideally, what would you like to do in, let's say, 5 or 10 years time?
Ooh, it's like an interview question.
You don't have to answer
for a
it.
job. Interview.
Or do you have like aspirations to become a professor, or more so to stay in research?
Yeah, so far I really love doing research and I really love what I do. So if I can do this for the rest of my life, at this point I think I will do it. But I think academia is not always easy. So if sometimes like it's hard to get new funding or new projects, or it's hard to get a new position, I'm also open to different stuff. I think you have to keep an open mind. But if I get the chance and if I get lucky enough to keep doing this, I will do it. I will do that, I think, so far.
Yeah, so you're happy with what?
Yeah.
You're very happy with what you're doing.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm here, like you said, especially during this fieldwork, every day you think like, well, how cool is my job that I get to do this? And yeah, I'm very grateful for that, and I would love to keep doing it if I get lucky enough.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I think, I totally agree. It's like every time we're out here, it's just like, we're so lucky to be here, right?
And I completely understand if at some point this lucky streak ends and there's no chances anymore to do it. I understand that. It's like not going to be amazing forever, which is fine. But we'll see then.
Yeah. Maybe to go back to this year's project. Do you have any, like, in a sense, I don't know, maybe a hypothesis is the wrong word, or like any ideas or like a hypothesis or expectations of what you think you might find this year?
I have and in this sense I have a very open mind. I think Veronica and Etienne are mostly like that's deep in their hypothesis of which place is going to be the best. They have like both also like a favorite place that they think that is going to be the nicest, or the nicest in terms of old ice. I don't really have this expectation for one place. I just.
Can you talk a tiny bit? Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
Can you talk a tiny bit about the location that you guys are going to tomorrow?
In what terms do you?
Or like just like the name, or if it's by a mountain range, or if it's just blue ice area, or what exactly it is.
Yeah, it's mostly we're researching blue ice areas, and it's in the Surrondane Mountains, close to the Niels Larsen ice field. And it's like we're gonna go to different blue ice patches, and they're usually quite stable in the same place because they're in regions where there's a lot of wind, and so in the areas where there's less wind, the snow stays at the surface, so it's white. So yeah, it's closer to the Antarctic plateau, which means it's higher elevation and colder than where we are now.
Yeah, I was surprised actually. Yesterday I went up to the AWS on the Gunnerschach Glacier, and there's always been like a big blue ice patch field up there in the valley.
The big one there.
Yeah, and it's not there anymore.
Ah?
Yeah, it's wild. Cool. So hopefully I'm sure you guys will be luckier, but I was surprised.
I looked at the satellite data from this month and it looked good. It looked like we expected.
You did your job.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I was surprised to see that there's apparently been a lot of accumulation this past winter.
Ah, yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're in the region of Antarctica where there's a lot of accumulation in Antarctica in general, and also it's increasing over the years due to climate change, which is like in most of the regions of Antarctica, it's accumulation is decreasing, or not most, but in a lot of regions it's decreasing, and in some others it's increasing. And here is a region where you get more accumulation because of climate warming. The air is warmer and can hold more moisture, so you have more precipitation.
Yeah, exactly. Or what you think the public should know about Antarctica, or more so, climate change.
Yeah, climate change. I think there's not necessarily like one big secret or big information that I can share, like, oh, you should really know this, but Antarctica is very special and very pristine, and I think it's very important that we take very good care of Antarctica, and that means to be very conscious of what we do, what activities we do at Antarctica, but also how we treat like the climate crisis. So everything we do in the coming 10-20 years is gonna define what Antarctica looks like in a few hundred years. And I think Antarctica is still like one of the places that feels the most untouched by humans, but that's becoming less and less true. So I think we should be very mindful of how we treat this area.
Very cool, thank you. How long are you gonna be in the field?
Ooh, yeah. From the top of my head, we have like 5 weeks, but I forget these timings. Like I know we're away from home for 7 weeks. So we have, I think, about 5 weeks, but field work never works the way you plan. So I don't really focus on these type of numbers, because now we've spent a few days at the station and we thought, oh, maybe it's going to be 3 days at the station, maybe it's going to be a week at the station, maybe the weather's going to be bad and we're going to be stuck for 2 weeks. So it's all very flexible, and I think about 5 weeks without a shower. Yay!
Oh, no shower?
No shower.
Ooh, tough. Yeah, I've done that before in Greenland. Not 5 weeks though. Yeah. Maybe like 3.
Yeah.
Dang. I did think of one more thing. Sorry, this is not written down earlier, but you mentioned home. While you are in Antarctica or you're doing field work in remote locations, what's the one thing you per se miss most from home or civilization?
Good question. I didn't think about this before.
Sorry. Yeah, you can take your time. It's you can edit this later.
I'm not really a person that has homesickness in that sense, because I know the people at home support me. So I really feel like they are happy for me being here. So I think that's really nice. But I do really look forward to going back to my loved ones, like my family and my boyfriend, and to be able to share this with them in some way. But that's like when you come back. So at this point, when I'm here, I try to sort of be here and enjoy this. Yeah. But
Very
I
cool.
will miss Dutch cheese.
No Dutch cheese in the field?
No.
Okay, well, I think we've covered pretty much everything. Appreciate your time. What are you most looking forward to actually while you're in the field?
I'm looking forward to like all the time we spent together, and like this weird group feeling that you get that you cannot get anywhere else. Like this connection between everybody that you're spent like day in, day out with, and we're stuck in like 20 square meters for 5 weeks with 5 people or 6 people. And it's such a special bond that I look forward to. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you, Mika. Or Maaike, sorry.
That's no problem.
I wish you all the best on your expedition, and I think you guys will get some awesome results.
Thank you.